as we knew it was scattered. The Yodra tempted mankind with unimaginable wealth and formed alliances to forever destroy the monumental light. The light accepted mankind's decision for a greater plan. A battle echoed across the world and the monumental light was scattered. The era of light was over and an era of darkness began. Wanderers moved out to strive for the fragments, but most got corrupted, offering the fragments to the fallen Yodra. The light will recombine, giving mankind an ultimatum. On which side of the line will we stand in the final battle?
One thing that really irritates me in that intro is the fact that the guy chose to say the heroes got corrupted instead of saying the heroes became corrupted. It's just not, it's not very good to say the heroes got corrupted. You can see already that this game is probably developed by a non-English developer, which there's nothing wrong with being non-English. I am myself non-English, but if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna make your game in English or make it available in English, you need to have grammatically correct sentences, grammatically correct sentence structure, and that is simply not correct. Saying the heroes got corrupted, I don't know, that just irritates me for some reason. But anyway, the game's name is Striving for Light Survival, because apparently with all of these types of games you have to put survival in the title. Apparently that's a thing that developers apparently have to do, because Vampire Survivors have survival in the title basically. So apparently all other games need to do that as well, to show that they are clones of Vampire Survivor. Now, I've said it before, there's no problem at all with being a clone of a game. There's no problem at all. I mean, World of Warcraft is a clone of a game, and yet, in my opinion, there is no superior game to World of Warcraft in the MMORPG genre. So even though World of Warcraft wasn't the first MMORPG, it is a clone, and it became the best game in that genre. So it is totally possible for a quote-unquote clone to become the best game in the genre. The same as with Vampire Survivors, for instance. Vampire Survivors was probably one of the first games of that type, even though something like Crimson Land, I'm actually old enough to have played Crimson Land very long ago. You're talking about around the year 2000 when Crimson Land was released. You could say that Vampire Survivors is a clone of Crimson Land, and that Crimson Land was the first almost game of that type, like a top-down twin-stick shooter game with permadeath and stuff like that. But the thing that Vampire Survivors did uniquely, that I don't think many other games before that did, at least not as far as I'm aware, is adding meta progression. So it's a roguelite meta progression aspect that was added to the concept that a game like Crimson Land started. And maybe Crimson Land wasn't the first one. Crimson Land is just the first one that I know of, because like I say, it was from very long ago. Let me have a look here quickly. Yeah, Crimson Land is from 2003, so already from 2003 the concept of a top-down twin-stick game like Vampire Survivors already obviously existed, and perhaps there was something before Crimson Land that was similar. Perhaps Crimson Land is a clone of another game, but Crimson Land is the first one that I can think of, the first one that really made a good game and built a game around the concept of permadeath and having repeated runs, you know, different runs, and each run could be different. Even though Crimson Land did not have meta progression. In Crimson Land, you simply picked up the weapons during the run. So there wasn't any unlocking, there were no roguelite aspects to the game. Obviously, roguelite games traditionally have some form of meta progression, which I don't think Crimson Land had. But anyway, my point is that you can totally clone a game. This game is really weird when it comes to the displays, to be honest. For some reason, when you select borderless full screen, the game is not actually in borderless full screen, and likewise when you select full screen, the game's not actually in full screen. So the display options for this game are really, really weird. But anyway, this game is a clone of Vampire Survivors, but today we are going to hopefully determine whether or not it is a worthwhile clone, whether or not this game is actually worth $5. I actually think Vampire Survivors is like $3, so this game is actually more expensive than Vampire Survivors, but obviously Vampire Survivors has DLCs now already. If you take all of the DLCs along with Vampire Survivors, then the game costs like $10, you know, so Vampire Survivors is getting quote-unquote expensive these days. But anyway, today we are going to have a look at Striving for Light Survival, and we are gonna hopefully by the end of this video determine whether or not this game is worth playing and whether or not it is worth $5. As always, with all of my first impression Let's Play reviews, I'm gonna be playing the game for an hour or more until I am satisfied that I can give you my opinion on the game. If you are in a hurry and you don't want to watch the full hour of the video, then you can simply skip to the last 10 minutes or so of the video. I will put a timestamp in the description below, and in the final 10 minutes or so of the video I will give you my quick, concise, final opinion on the game and tell you whether or not, in my opinion, I can recommend that you play the game or buy the game. So otherwise you can just stay tuned. If you're not in a hurry, just stay tuned, and I will be playing the game and I will be giving you my running commentary as I play through the game today. So yeah, $5 for the game. Like I said, the full screen and borderless windowed mode is not good. It doesn't function the way that it should function, because when I alt tab like this, for instance, the screen goes black, and then when I tab back into the game again, the same happens, the screen goes black again. So this borderless windowed mode is not borderless windowed mode. I don't know what it is, but it's not borderless windowed mode. And the same with full screen. Full screen mode is not full screen mode. So the display modes are not correct. I also had an issue where the mouse disappeared. I at least now have the mouse, but I had an issue where the mouse disappeared. So then you have to close the game, have to open up the game again, and just hope that your mouse didn't disappear. So this game clearly has some display options and issues with the mouse as well. Let's just turn down the music a little bit, because the music is a little bit crazy. And then otherwise than that, yeah, we will just see how the game plays today. So we will go play. And then you have two different characters that you can choose from the beginning. So there's plus 20 melee damage, minus 20 projectile damage. And then this one is the opposite. So let's go for projectile. Apparently everything in this game is hand-drawn, by the way. So apparently everything is hand-drawn in the entire game. And there's a couple of different skills that you can choose from at the beginning. Your melee hits create scattering projectiles on enemy hit. Okay, but it doesn't say how much damage the scattering projectiles do, and it also doesn't say how many scattering projectiles. Your melee attacks cause an explosion. Area scales with AoE size. Damage scales with melee damage. Okay, so here it does say the damage. Like here it doesn't say the damage. Here it actually says the damage, but it doesn't say the base AoE size. It doesn't say what the AoE size is on level 1. So that's an issue. There's probably gonna be issues with all of these, to be honest, because already if there's already issues with 2 of these, then there's gonna be issues with all of them. Your projectile hits poison all nearby enemies, dealing 10 damage every 3 seconds. Total duration 9 seconds. So that will be 30 damage in total. Area scales with AoE size. Applies poison to enemies. Condition damage decay. Each tick 30%. Okay, so it's not going to deal 30 damage. It's gonna deal 30 damage, but every second that damage is gonna be reduced by 30% for each stack. So that makes it very complicated to figure out, but the long and the short of it is that it is not going to do 30 damage. It's gonna be less than 30 damage. It's gonna be around like maybe 25 damage instead of the full 30 damage, because it's not 10 times 3, it's 10 times 3 minus 30% per stack, and as the stacks get reduced, the damage gets reduced. So it's really weird, but okay. At least over here it says the duration, it says the damage, it says the condition decay. So this is good. This is how these 2 skills should be presented, and yet they are not presented that way. So there isn't uniformity in the game, unfortunately. Your melee attacks have a chance. I don't care about melee attacks. That one looks good. How many can we select? 11 random skills will be added to your skill spawn pool. 10. Okay, so apparently you can select some of these, and then those that you don't select will be random, I guess. I'm not really sure. Okay, we will go with that, I guess. Chaos? What's chaos? In chaos mode, you will play with a random character, random weapons, shape the chaos, and compete in separate leaderboards where all players face the same odds. No, thank you. Okay. So we can just basically ignore the mouse. You can zoom in, but you can't zoom out more than this. You can temporarily deactivate skills to maintain your attack speed. Skills can be reactivated at any time. Increase your attack speed or right mouse button toggle skill on and off. Okay, so the game has a talent tree or a skill tree, whatever you want to call it. I guess it's a passive tree unless there are active abilities. Increases your attack speed. Oh, that's quite a lot, 15%. %20 movement speed, that's quite a lot. Max health increased by 1, holy hell. To create an additional melee... I don't care about melee. I guess let's go for this one. Okay. Oh, do I have unskill? Oh, okay. Your range shot angle is increased. Why would I want to increase my angle? Because that will reduce the accuracy. So why would I want to do that? Please tell me. Okay. Why did they despawn? That's stupid. Why do the enemies despawn? That's really stupid. Okay, so are you telling me your timer, once the timer runs out, the game ends? Is that what you're telling me? I'm not a fan of that at all. I don't know why it can't just work like every other Survivor game where you just can continue. Holy shit. 70% melee damage. That's insane. That is absolutely hilarious. There's another 70%. Holy schmoly. The scaling on melee is insane. Ah, additional projectiles. That will be spicy. And now we are throwing two at once. Now we are cooking with fire. Also, those light, whatever, the light fragments that dropped on the ground there, do I get them or don't I get them? I actually need to check on that. I need to check next time my timer runs out. I need to check if I actually get those. Select the shard, apply it on to a skill node. That's incorrect. Once again, not correct, correct grammar being used. Apply it onto a skill node to reforge connections between nodes. Reroll the node or refund a skill point. Okay, so you can reforge connections between a node, reroll the node, or refund a skill point. Okay, that's weird. Change an unskilled skill node to a new random skill. What the fuck is an unskilled skill node? This game does not do a very good job at all of explaining stuff. Oh, there's another additional projectiles. I definitely want to get that. So I have auto aim enabled right now. I actually need to count how many I've picked up, but it's difficult to see because nowhere on the screen does it actually show you how many of these you've picked up. Uncollected but stashed light fragments. All uncollected light fragments will be stashed. Every 10 light fragments will be converted to a elite enemy. That's incorrect. A elite enemy spawn, which will show up in the next waves. Defeated elites have the chance to drop shards and release the 10 stashed light fragments. Okay, so apparently those that you do not pick up, you will maybe have the possibility of picking up later, I guess. I don't know, it's really fucking weird. Okay, additional projectiles, definitely. I guess we can take this one. I guess. Holy shit. That bastard hit me. Okay, well, I got a shitload there. What's this? Elite enemy spawn pool. It will drop a big light fragment containing all the experience of the 10 stashed light fragments. Okay. The size of your area of effect is increased. I don't think I have any AoE right now. Shard of Conjunction. A shard with the power to reforge the connections of a skill. Okay, well, I don't have any. I can take this one, but I don't know if I really want to. I don't want extra angle. That's not gonna help me. Your ranged attacks have a 50% chance to cast a meteor to a random area in your attack direction, dealing 30 damage and applying a knockback to enemies' meteor scale size. Blah blah blah. Possibility 50%. Well, that's quite a lot, actually. Will I be able to go over there? I'm not too sure. I could go like that, but that, I don't know. Extra health, I mean, extra health will not be bad. I guess I can take extra health. I don't really want to take extra health, to be honest. Holy shit, projectile damage plus 100%, that's hilarious. That's insane. Yeah, 100% extra is crazy. I think the scaling in this game is a little bit crazy. Like normally you would expect stuff like 10% extra damage, 5% extra attack speed, you know, stuff like that. That's the type of stuff you can normally expect in most games, but in this bloody game, they go like 100% and 70%, insane shit like that. Companions deal additional damage. Well, I don't think I have any companions. That's nice, but it reduces your attack speed, which is not nice. So now we will get meteor costs, 50%. Ouch. Multiple projectiles again. We need to look out for those. I wish like you could not have these, you know. I mean, I'm not gonna use these. I am a ranged build, but like it fucks up your entire idea. Like if you want to go over there, now I can't basically, because this is gonna not give me any benefit. So I really wish that the skill tree could be, I don't know, customized or something like that. I mean, a lot of these things are melee and I don't want melee. I wish you could just avoid them. Oh, critical. Take that. More attack speed won't hurt. Yeah, that's melee, that's melee. I still don't know how much damage these shattering projectiles do, so I don't know if it's good or not. I would like to get that, but then I will have to get that as well. That's not good. all your conditional damage, 50% additional damage for each tick. Well, I do... No, I don't do poison yet. I don't have the poison node yet, so I'm not doing poison damage right now. I don't think. Oh, projectile damage, we want that one. Ouch. I also see that not 100% of the enemies actually drop these light things, so not 100% of them drop experience, because these light things are literally your experience, so it's a little bit weird that you don't get experience from 100% of the enemies. You would normally expect to get experience from 100% of the enemies. So that's really weird. Like, why don't you get 100% experience from 100% of the enemies? So I could get more scatter over there. The music is actually not bad. Let's turn up the music a little bit. Yeah, it's not bad at all, actually. Another projectile multiplicator multiplicator over there. English are difficult. Okay, so I actually should have gone like that and then like that and then like that, but oh well. I don't like these guys that shoot ranged projectiles. So I want to go over there. Yeah, actually I should go over there because there's two very good ones there. I have like all of these things, but like, to be honest, undo skill choices. Change an unskilled skill node to a new random skill. So can you do it like, for instance, this one? I don't want this one, so boom. Okay. Okay, I see. So all of these melee bullshits that I don't want, I can just change them. And then this one reforges the connections of a skill. So if you reach a place like this and you have nowhere to go, you can just use this on there, and then it will hopefully give you better skill things. Skill connections, or whatever you want to call it. I just unlocked a weapon. This bolt now is really quite powerful. I don't know how the melee would work. Like, do you literally have to walk against them, or is melee simply like a little bit close, you know, when you have a melee build? How exactly, ouchies, does it work? To keep an eye out for damage. Projectile damage. Now I have that one. I need to keep an eye out for all of those. would seem, even though I can't confirm this, but it would seem that every new map has four hearts spawned in the top left, top right, bottom left, and bottom right. Because the hearts definitely do respawn. So that would basically allow you to heal 4 per turn, per wave, which is actually quite generous, I have to say. That really is quite generous. Now I will have even more projectiles. What's the difference between projectile multiplicator and number of projectiles? Like, what's the difference? Okay, holy shit, apparently there's quite a difference, because now I have a stupid amount of projectiles. Ouchies. This bastard has a weird... Ouchies. Has a weird attack pattern. So apparently additional projectiles is quite powerful. The only one where I see that is here, there. I don't see another place. In order to go over there, it's not gonna be super easy. I have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or I could go here and then just hope that I can reach over there. Even though there's another multiplicator. I just don't want this. And I actually don't want that either. In an arena like this, it is better to stay on one side, because then your projectiles that miss have a chance to attack the stuff that are behind them. Whereas if you're in the middle, your projectiles have a less chance to hit something behind them. Like here, almost definitely my projectiles are gonna hit stuff behind the target that I was aiming for, which is good. projectile damage. Why does my stuff go away? Projectile damage. It should stay there. For fuck's sake, come on. Projectile damage. No, there's no new ones. And each time you click it goes away. That's really irritating. I wonder, can you just... Yeah, apparently you can go to the next wave without spending anything. But I think you have to spend points in order to progress to unlock more of the tree, I think. I think that's how it works. Once again, the tutorial in this game really leaves a lot to be desired, unfortunately. A lot of stuff has not been explained at all. Oh, you can actually push the heart around. I didn't know that. I don't know why you would want to do that, but anyway, you can do that, apparently. So another critical hit there. And there's a double projectile. I don't like this song. Like, this song isn't very nice, but that other song that played earlier is really quite nice. Area of effect, I don't like the area of effect. Scattering projectiles, I don't actually like the scattering projectiles. But I mean, scattering projectiles is not too bad, but it reduces your attack speed. There we go. Condition damage, I mean, I guess that's acceptable. It's not too bad, and then I can get another extra projectile over there. Gonna be really nice. Yeah, this build right now is a little bit ridiculous. Ouch! One of the ranged projectiles hit me. There's no defenses against ranged projectiles from what I can see in this game. You literally just have to dodge the projectiles. Like in most of these types of games you get defenses, and it seems in this game there's no defenses. But then again, this game is very generous with the amount of healing that you can have. Okay, so we have that one. I think wave 20 is the last one. Yes, definitely. I am just obliterating this guy. You can see the amount of damage popping up on his thing. Because I'm also poisoning him. Poison is obviously very powerful against a big enemy like that takes multiple hits. You are victorious. Are these just... Oh, these are unlocks, okay. Reach wave 3 without receiving damage. We unlock the flail, unlock the new map, unlock the new skill, unlock the new weapon, new skill, new weapon, new character, and that's nothing. Okay. Apparently I'm rank 151. I guess not a lot of people play this game. Ah, this is the song that I like. Okay, so main menu, I guess. Ah, now it ended the song that I like. Do I have a new ranged weapon? Yes, I do. So this one has no critical hit chance, but it has more critical hit damage. It's not particularly good, like it's not much better than the other ones. I have 3 burning projectile skills active. Complete wave 20 with only 1 projectile. Oh, that'll be difficult. Dark staff equipped, with bow equipped, with focus equipped, throwing axe equipped. That one's attack speed is very low. anyway. Attack speed minus, movement speed minus, dodge minus, but he has more area of effect. And then he also has an ability, glaring light. Your melee attacks cast a glaring light lasting 3 seconds, damaging surrounding enemies. Area scales with AoE size, damage scales with projectiles. So this guy has an ability, whereas these two do not have an ability. And I don't think... yeah, this one has an ability, this one has an ability, but the rest don't have abilities. So, okay. And then I think I also maybe unlocked some... Yeah, I unlocked Meteor Blow. But that's melee. I guess we can try one with this one. We're gonna continue playing with this hero. I actually want to try a endless. How do you do endless? Okay, more enemy spawn rate, more enemy HP, and a few traps. So apparently they will then be trapped. And then double that. And 25% more of that, and then double that. So eventually on the highest difficulty you will have 150% enemy HP and spawn rate and traps. The spawn rate isn't necessarily bad because it means you will get more experience, but still. Let's see on beach. Maybe beach is like, is it a bigger map or what's going on? No, it's not a bigger map. And now our thing resets. You see, I'm not a huge fan of that. Projectile speed, your shield. Your projectiles are surrounding you like a protective shield. The radius scales with area of effect, swirl time, blah blah blah. Okay. So there is some form of projectile defense at least, because I thought at the beginning there wasn't. And then swirl. Once again, this one has a lot of melee abilities, which I'm not gonna even use. All of these are fucking melee abilities. Like the melee scaling is so much more powerful, 70%. That's really powerful. Like honestly, I'm pretty much ready to give my opinion on the game. I like some of the music. Let's start there. I like some of the music. I don't think any of the music tracks are bad, but there's really only one music track that I like. Can we even make it play? Like, what's the difference between these? don't know what the difference is, but okay, you can't select the song that you want directly. I would have liked it if you could select the song that you wanted directly. So yeah, there's one track that I like that I mentioned previously. The rest are okay. What the? I wasn't finished, was I? Oh, okay, but apparently I was finished. Why do I feel like I didn't even fight that match? I don't know, maybe I'm delirious. So I like some of the music. The rest of the music is basically not good or bad, you know, it's just whatever, you know. There's no real bad music, and then there's one song that I like, and then the rest of the songs are just forgettable, basically. So it's not too bad. The graphics of the game is I mean, it's bad, you know. It's hand drawn, so it's not gonna be really good. I don't want to take this right now because it will benefit me in the late game, but not right now. So it's not really good. It's not what I would call good graphics. I mean, it's hand drawn, and hand drawn graphics are basically never good, like literally good, you know. But then again, something like Vampire Survivor, you also can't say is good, you know. There's no way how you can say Vampire Survivor. I just want to test something here. There's no way how you can say Vampire Survivor as good graphics, you know. So this game pretty much is on that same level. I should say that my favorite game of this type is Soulstone Survivors. That's my favorite game of this type, even though Soulstone Survivors I think is something like $10 or $15. I think I can't remember exactly. So it's definitely more expensive than this game, so you can't even really compare this game to a game that is double or triple the cost, you know. It's not fair to this game to compare this game to a game that is double or triple the cost. But I will say Soulstone Survivors is, out of this entire genre, like I don't want to call it a survivors genre, but it's basically the survivor genre. Like it's a top-down twin stick rogue light genre. That's the genre. It's a rogue light genre, meaning there is permadeath and there is meta progression, and then it's obviously top down and it's twin stick. Out of this genre, my favorite game is there's the additional projectiles that I like. Out of this genre, my favorite definitely is Soulstone Survivors. That's shitty. I don't want that one. Now where do I need to go? I wanted to go there, but I don't want that. Yeah, I have some really bad choices here. And take that one. No, that's a melee one. Ugh, there's some really bad. Oh wait, this is a ability? Okay, well, no, then I will take that one, definitely. We haven't encountered this ability yet. So yeah, Soulstone Survivors, my favorite game in the genre. I do not like Vampire Survivors. I've done a review on Vampire Survivors. I've done a review on probably around 5 of these games already. and I've played probably close to 10 of these types of games. Obviously, I don't do a review on all of the games that I play. I simply do not have enough time to do that. But out of the 10 games that I have played, definitely Soulstone Survivors is my favorite game. And this game is not bad. Like, there's some issues. Like I said, tutorial is terrible. The game basically doesn't have a tutorial to speak of. I don't like this wave system. In fact, I fucking hate this wave system. But if you play on the endless wave one, oh, you can have more than one companion. That's interesting. If you play on the endless wave mode, I'm pretty sure that won't then be a problem. But still, I don't like this. I don't like the fact that you you're basically reset every wave. I don't like that in the slightest. But I mean, it's not the end of the world. It's just something that I do not like. I much prefer it to be like in Vampire Survivors, for instance, where the match is essentially persisting. So it's a persistent match, and the enemies don't disappear, even though on Vampire Survivors the enemies do disappear, and that is one of the issues that I have with the game. I've mentioned it in my review. Enemies do actually disappear, and loot also disappears in Vampire Survivors, which is something that I really don't like. But in other games like Soulstone Survivors, enemies do not disappear, which is something, just another reason why I would suggest, there's projectile damage, why I would suggest Soulstone Survivors over any of the other games, because you can go as far as you want away from the center or whatever, and enemies do not despawn, which is something that happens in Vampire Survivors. That's why I do not like Vampire Survivors. Well, it's one of the reasons why I don't like Vampire Survivors. But yeah, for $5, ouchies, this game is actually not bad. I will say that it is easy. This game is definitely a lot easier than Vampire Survivors at the beginning. Obviously, there's 5 different difficulties, as we've seen now already, so obviously the higher difficulties will be more challenging. Wow, there's another extra projectile. This build is going really well so far. There's another extra projectile. Holy tits. So you can make your game more challenging, which is obviously good, but at the beginning it is not nearly as challenging as what something like Vampire Survivors is. But that's good, because in my opinion Vampire Survivors is too difficult at the beginning, because it is literally impossible to reach the end of a wave or the end of a match when you first start playing Vampire Survivors. You will die when first playing Vampire Survivors. The game is designed for you to die at the beginning, and then after that, once you've collected enough gold and gotten enough unlocks and maybe selected another character, because you obviously will have unlocked a couple of characters after you've played the game a little bit, then perhaps with the other characters you will be able to defeat the first wave. You will be able to reach on 30 minutes in the first wave. even though there's nothing really wrong with the starting characters that you get in Vampire Survivors, but they are not anywhere close to being the most powerful characters. Whereas with this game, with the very first character, with the very starting weapons, and on my very first run, I was able to finish the game. I was able to finish the first map, which isn't something that you would have been able to do in Vampire Survivors, unless you get incredibly lucky. But I think even if you get incredibly lucky, you won't be able to do it in Vampire Survivors, because you only have, like, I think 4 weapons at the beginning of Vampire Survivors. You have very few weapons. You have no combo weapons at all at the beginning when first starting to play Vampire Survivors. So yeah, I don't think it's even possible. But anyway, this game is much easier, but it has a higher skill ceiling. As you go higher and you play on the higher difficulties, you will be able to crank the difficulty of the game up quite significantly. So that's good. Do I want to reset anything around here? Let's see. Do I want to reset? I also like this system, actually. Like, this is a nice system. It gives you a little bit of strategy. Like, Vampire Survivors has no strategy. It's just RNG. That's literally all you have. It's just RNG. The best Vampire Survivor player on the planet can fail a run just because the game decided to give them shitty items. And in this game, I don't think that's really possible, because this game much more relies on skill and tactical planning than RNG. Like, this game actually does not have a lot of RNG, because you can choose where you want to go. You can change with these things at the bottom. You can change your journey and create a build, whereas in Vampire Survivors, you are screwed if the game chooses to give you shitty stuff, you know? There's nothing really ouchies that you would be able to do about that. Wow, this build is really powerful. We defeated that boss in like 3 seconds. So that's another thing that I just like about this game more. I hate unfair RNG in games. Even though that appeals to some people, I do not like unfair RNG in games. Like, I want skill, you know. Video games for me are much more appealing when they involve skill than when they involve randomness, you know. So this game, in my opinion, is a better game for players who want a skill-based game. People who want or don't mind a random game will not mind a game like Vampire Survivors, but I personally don't like that in the slightest. In fact, I fucking hate it. I hate it when I just need that one final item and the game simply refuses to give it to me. I really hate that. And unfortunately, that is literally what happens in Vampire Survivors. So yeah, ouchies. I just like this game more. And well, I like this game more in that aspect. With a RNG removed in this game, even though there is still some RNG. I'm sure the talent tree that you get will not be the same as multiple runs, you know. So on multiple runs you will get a different talent tree, I'm pretty sure, even though I might be wrong. But yeah, this system, I don't mind the system where the quote-unquote experience that you don't pick up is stored, and then when you kill a boss you get that experience back. it creates a little bit of a challenge, and that's fine. Even though I don't understand why some enemies drop experience and some enemies don't drop experience. That's something that doesn't make a huge amount of sense to me. It's a little bit strange. But yeah, it's not the end of the world, it's just a little bit strange. Perhaps the game is designed to only allow 50% of the enemies to drop experience. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't really affect your gameplay. It's just a little bit strange that some of them don't drop, because if you consider something like Vampire Survivors, and to be honest, probably 95% of the survivor-like games that I've played, all of the enemies drop experience. They always drop experience, and then some of them drop special experience, you know, like in Vampire Survivors, for instance. But anyway, I think the game has a fair amount of unlockables. It doesn't have as many unlockables as a game like Vampire Survivors, but Vampire Survivors has been around for longer, so you can't really expect the game to have the same amount of unlockables as Vampire Survivors does, you know. It will just take time for the game to catch up to Vampire Survivors. But yeah, honestly, there's not many bad things that I can say about the game. The graphics are bad, but I mean, if you want a game that has good graphics, you really shouldn't be playing a survivor-like game, you know. Go play Far Cry 5 or Cyberpunk 2077 or something like that, you know. So graphics in these types of games really shouldn't be something that is detracting from the game. As long as you can see what the fuck is happening, then graphics doesn't really matter too much in these types of games, because it's such a basic game. So graphics don't really matter. Music is relatively good. It could be better, but it's relatively good. The gameplay is fine. I haven't encountered any glitches or bugs or anything like that yet, really. There's enough unlockables to allow the player to play for probably, I would say, maybe 10 hours. I think you would be able to get at least 10 hours of gameplay out of this game. The tooltip on the abilities in the start screen definitely need to be addressed and improved, because like I said at the beginning, there are many of the abilities that simply do not give you any information. Like, it's really quite bad. They do not give you any information. Like, they don't say the damage, some of them don't say like the attack speed, some of them don't say the area of effect. Like, it's just really quite poor. You really need to give the player all of the information that they need to make informed choices on the build that they want to do, and this game simply does not do that. So that's something that definitely should be improved. But yeah, quite honestly, I don't really see any reason to not recommend this game, and in fact I quite like the game. It could be improved by getting rid of this wave system. Like, the game should just be paused when the timer runs out. Like, having a timer is fine. I don't have an issue with having a timer, but when the timer runs out, and you've selected your abilities and resumed the game should just resume. You know, the map shouldn't reset. I don't like the fact that the map resets. The map should simply resume. So that's an issue that I don't particularly like. In fact, I don't like it a lot at all. But I think this game is still in early access. Let me have a look quickly. Oh no, the game is not in early access. The game is actually released 2nd December. So yeah, the game is officially out now. And it was in early access for not even a year. In fact, around 10 months that the game was in early access. But yeah, like, quite honestly, I can recommend the game. Holy hell, why is the collector's edition so expensive? What the hell is that? Oh, so there's another game in the genre. I even haven't seen this game yet. And this game is still in development. Interesting. And it actually uses the same skill tree type thing. That's interesting. It's an ARPG, they say, so it's like almost like Diablo, almost. But anyway, yeah, the game is fully released, and the screen goes black again. The game is fully released, and I think hopefully the developer will continue to improve the game. Perhaps we will see some DLCs in the future at some point, maybe. But yeah, the future doesn't matter what the future holds. Right now, I can recommend the game for $5. That's really all that matters. Can I recommend the game for $5 right now? Yes, I can. And the game can be improved, and I think even if there's some DLCs and stuff like that in the future, I think that will just improve the game even more. More content, more replayability, all of that kind of stuff. I think that will be good. I don't like the fact that my projectiles just disappeared. Like, when it seems with this weapon, when you get too close to the edge, your projectiles disappear, which that might actually be a bug, because that's really weird. Like, look, if I go to the side, look at that, all of your projectiles disappear. That's actually a pretty big bug, to be honest. That's a really big bug. So you do not want to play at the edge of the screen with this weapon specifically, because it literally destroys all of your projectiles, which means you lose quite a lot of damage. So right as I said that I haven't found any bugs in the game yet, a pretty big bug rears its ugly head. But anyway, it's not so bad. You can play around it, just don't go near the edge basically with this weapon. I don't think it will affect other weapons as much, but with this weapon specifically, because this weapon rotates around your character, it is going to affect your damage severely if you go close to the edge. We get another extra projectile there. That's nice. We can even get more projectile range. That's nice. I think let me finish this map. It's not gonna take long. It's gonna take another maybe 5-6 minutes, and then I think we can end the video. But yeah, I already gave you my opinion. If you just wanted my opinion, then you can basically click off right now. But yeah, I think I'm gonna finish this run so that we can just maybe see another run come to completion. I might also even just start a endless run, just start the run, just so that I can see how the endless run functions, you know, because I think in the endless run you will not be reset each and every time that you level up, or that the match ends, you know? And that will be better. My attack speed is suffering a little bit. I don't have nearly as much attack speed on this build as I do on my other build, but with this build you can definitely do a lot more killing, because you simply stand here in the middle and you just shut out projectiles, and the projectiles, as you can see, cover the entire bloody screen. So this build can do a lot more killing. It's not like as focused and precise as the other build was, but I think this one will, at the end of the day, be more powerful. You should just stay away from the edges, because the edges gobbling up your projectiles is not good. You're gonna lose a lot of projectiles if you go near the edge, unfortunately. I need attack speed, that's for certain. I've got a shitload of projectiles now. You can see, as soon as these things touch them, they die. Because there's like 10 projectiles in each one of these swirls. So it just destroys them. Now, I definitely think this weapon is better than the other weapon. You just need to build the projectile count quite a lot. And stay away from the edges. Just one skill point here. Where's attack speed? I want some attack speed. If I get a lot of attack speed on this build, it's gonna be insane. Look how I melt that boss. That's insane. Absolutely melted. Like, I literally just stand here, I don't even need to move. Why does the thing, like the highlighting, disappears? I mean, I had attack speed in there, and then I clicked on one skill, and then everything disappeared. Like, that's another bug. Whatever you type in there disappears when you select anything. Okay, this is the boss now. Let's see how fast we can melt him. Holy shit. Oh shit. Ouchies. 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 Yeah, no, this build is crazy. Okay, new skill. Hey, rank 70. New map, new weapon. Endless mode. How does endless mode work? So do you just continue? I don't actually want more health. Like, I don't think I will ever run out of health, to be honest. Increased condition damage, I mean, that's not too bad. Hey, and I unlocked another bow, or another weapon. Holy shit, there's 2 bosses. I guess that's the danger of leaving a lot of these experience points on the ground. If you leave like 20 experience points on the ground, it's gonna spawn 2 bosses. If you leave 50 experience points on the ground, it's gonna spawn 5 bosses. So it's actually quite dangerous, this experience point thing. Like, you do not want to really unnecessarily leave points on the ground, because you're gonna spawn a shitload of bosses. Unfortunately, I lost a lot of projectiles there because I touched the edge of the screen. And I'm not going to be able to kill this boss. I wonder what happens if you don't kill that boss. Will he respawn, or what happens? I wonder. Where was I heading? Over there, critical hit. It looks like he respawns. And I unlocked another weapon. Wow, there's only 1 heart. There's only 1 heart on the entire screen. 2 fucking bosses. I think I might die here. But at least now we figured out how the endless mode works, and as it turns out, it works exactly the same as the regular mode. Your stuff is still reset, all of the enemies on the screen is still reset. All that it basically means is you can continue to play past wave 20. That's literally all that it means. You can continue to play past wave 20. Nothing else changes. Wow, I didn't gain a single level there. And then you see everything resets once again, and yeah. Wow. So yeah, unfortunately in the endless mode, nothing really changes. It simply allows you to play for longer. Like, you can play longer. during the endless mode past rank 20. Otherwise, you can just play until rank 20 or level 20, whatever you want to call it, and that's it. Then I have different weapons. Even though I like this weapon, I guess you should try a little bit of variance. We can maybe try the bow. Then choose map, and then now there should be another map unlocked as well. Mine shaft, blah blah blah. This one is probably also gonna be just like a block. I don't think this game has any modes that are open world. Oh, okay, so this one is a circle instead of a block. That's interesting. But okay, in any way, like I said, I am done for today. Not a bad game, actually. Definitely not a bad game, and it is a game that I can recommend for $5. Like I said, the best game in this genre, in my opinion, is Soulstone Survivors. But Soulstone Survivors is like, I think, $10 or $15. So you're talking about double or triple the price of this game. Which it really just depends on you if you consider that to be worth it. Soulstone Survivors has far more replayability, far more content, and yeah, it just depends on what you are looking for. Obviously, if you compare a $10 indie game first-person shooter to something like Far Cry 5, for instance, that costs $60 or whatever, and is developed by like 200 developers, it's really like you're comparing apples to bloody machine guns. You know, you can't really make that comparison. So comparing Soulstone Survivors to this game really isn't super fair due to the price, but like I say, if you have that extra money, I would recommend Soulstone Survivors. But otherwise, this game, there's nothing wrong with this game for $5. And in fact, I have to be honest, I like this game more than Vampire Survivors. I would recommend this game over Vampire Survivors simply for the fact that in Vampire Survivors, enemies disappear and loot disappears, which I do not like, even though in this game I would have really liked this game a lot more if you weren't limited to such a small area, such a small arena. I really think this game can benefit quite a lot from making the arena basically unlimited, like it is in other survivor games like Vampire Survivors. Just make the arena basically unlimited. I think the game would really benefit from that. But anyway, that is it. Thanks to the developer for sending me a key, even though it's just $5. It's the thought that counts. I probably would not have looked at this game if I didn't receive a key from the developer, so that goes to show you a lot of games I wouldn't even look at if I don't receive a key for the game, simply because I don't traditionally play these games. I like I said, I play about 10 of them, but I don't, it's not the type of thing, the type of genre that I play when I want to play a game, you know. Like, I'm the type of player who would much rather play like Path of Exile or Last Epoch or something like that. If I want to actually sit down and play a game for 10 hours, this is definitely not the type of game that I would traditionally sit down and play for 10 hours if I just want to relax a little bit. So it helps that the developer at least sent me a key. But if you want to see more reviews from me in the future, if you enjoy the content that you're seeing, then your support on patreon.com/LFP would be very much appreciated. It allows me to do more reviews and to buy more games and do more reviews for you guys. So thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I will see you guys next time.